Hello ladies and gentlemen, An Idiot Imports is sponsored by PlayAsia, and this copy of the game you're about to see probably came from them as part of their sponsorship deal, unless I very specifically say it didn't in the video. If you want to support this series, use the link in the description to go to PlayAsia and buy an item or two. It'll help me out and increase the budget I get for import games. You can also use the coupon code BLUEVITA at checkout to save a bit of money, but it won't count towards my sales if you don't use that link. Either way, thanks for your support and enjoy the show. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out, this is going to be a tough one, Itadaki Street, Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy 30th Anniversary. Hey, I actually got it right. So this is a board game that has actually not been around for a fair amount of time. We're talking like 5 years. That's the intro video. Stop, please. Last thing I need is a copyright strike. But yeah, it is a board game and normally I wouldn't have imported this one, but I actually saw the Let's Play done by the Runaway guys of it, and it actually made it look really entertaining. So when it got announced, I'm like, you know what, I'm in. So I actually came into this game having a rough idea of what I was doing, which is kind of nice, since I usually don't get to do that with these sorts of games. Oh, hello, it's the Captain Slime from Dragon Quest. Also, I just realized that my speakers are still on. Shit. Okay, that is going to be a bit of an issue in editing, but there we go. Oh well, let's get into this. So we're going to do all our menu diving right off the bat because it's actually kind of annoying how long the games of this can go for, even at the highest speeds possible. Which I'm not going to do because it's actually kind of hard to understand this game, even with the amount of knowledge I had, if it's going a little too fast. So yeah, we're just menu diving first of all. So your first 4 options here are your single player challenges, your free play, your online play, and your ad hoc play, and your tutorials. And I didn't need to do the tutorials, thankfully, because as I said, I already seen the Let's Play from the Runaway guys, so I already had an idea of how the game works. And then you've got your 4 options over here. Your first is your shop, and I want to go into this first because there's actually something I might need to buy again, because the game's autosave doesn't work if you buy stuff off the shop, but then don't bother to actually play a game to have the autosave kick in. So you can come here to buy extra dudes, extra maps, and all sorts of other little tidbits that we'll get to shortly. I've only bought 1 character so far, and it's Make It Rain Sephiroth, I don't know how you pronounce that. You can actually sort by ones you've got unlocked, ones you can afford, yada 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 yada. It's pretty basic stuff for a shop. You've got maps for free play. There's only 2 and I've bought them both. You've got individual rules, you've got different rules, but for some reason I can't buy them yet, despite the fact that the option's here in the menu. Something I can't buy at all. And down here we have a kind of neat feature that's more meant for the history buffs of Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy than anything else. This is like a memories shop, more or less. And you buy these and you can go to the gallery and, well, if you haven't seen the trailers or the articles for this, I won't spoil the surprise, but I'll buy one I recognize. It's from Final Fantasy X. This is basically the intro cutscene. A little bit odd because I already bought this and went back to the main menu. The game doesn't autosave that for some reason. Thankfully, it does. It does keep your money around and stuff like that at the end of the game that you've earned, so not that huge a deal. The trophy is your trophy room cross stats room. Lets you check the individual profiles on the Vita and see what their scores have been, how they've done in the games, yada 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 yada. So, actually no, yeah, it's this one. So, here's all my stats so far. You can see that all the stuff I've earned on the right. On the bottom left, you can see how many games I've played and what positions I've come in. That's actually a lie, because I actually rage quit out of 2 games because I was doing so badly in them. I didn't feel like it was worth my time sticking around. You can come here to see your best scores on the, framework with me here. Your best scores on your individual challenges. And these are all trophies that you can get for doing specific things in-game. I'm not entirely sure what these are specifically, but if you have Google Translate, there's all your things to translate. And I'm back now. I can't remember what this second one is. I think this is, oh yeah, it's leaderboards for the individual AI characters and all that. Second one is your character BIOSes and histories. So there's Sephiroth's BIOS for you if you want to read it there. Game from Final Fantasy VII, obviously. There's some of the characters there. And your 100 cards. The cards do actually play a role in the game, but we'll get to that. But you can come here and see what games the art is from and a little bit about them, which is kind of neat. There's the Kupo, because of course Kupo's in here somewhere. It's a bloody Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy crossover. Now this is a little odd. This is a highlight reel. At the end of each game, I wasn't expecting this to be a thing, but at the end of each game, it'll say, hey, do you want to make a so-and-so of this match? It wasn't particularly clear about it in the translation tool that I use, which is Google Translate on my Android tablet. And when I actually came back to play it, this happened. It's basically a highlight reel with voices of a particular game that you save. And it's really quite odd. The loading time is going to be a bit of a bitch, and I apologize about that. That's one of the main problems of this game. I don't think playing off cart helps that much, but yeah, basically we're just going to have to wait this out. Kind of annoying too, considering it is about, what, like a minute, 2 minutes long? And we're going to be sitting here for about almost half of that, just waiting for the damn thing to load. Thankfully, the save doesn't take up much room on the cart. At the moment, for me, it's taking up about 4 meg. On the back of the box, it says it can take up about 340 meg, though, and I don't know what that's about. Probably because of the day one patch, but anyway. It's literally a highlight reel. So there's the rules, but we'll get into what those are shortly when we actually go and play a game. And this basically just chronicles the best moments in the game for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what the use is of a highlight reel. Also, the characters do actually talk. They have voices, and you can see what they're saying there. I thought this game went particularly well. I was hoping it'd save a full-on replay of it. Yep, I just went completely bored out of shop, which is certainly something you don't see very often in this game. He lied. Yep, that was the moment that brought me over the victory limit. Took 400 gold from 455 gold from that poor girl. And Squall is there telling me about it. Put another 1,000 gold into my building and just made it so I couldn't possibly lose. And that's how I won. If you were following me on Twitter, you would have actually seen this screenshot of me actually winning the game. Kinda neat. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of that is. I could understand keeping full replays of games, but that weird highlight reel is just not exactly something I was expecting to see. And you don't even get to choose what the highlights are, which is even weirder, but there you go. So let's continue on with our menu diving for a couple more minutes. We've got a few more things to see, including the options menu. So, back up here. If that's the replay menu, so yeah, we can back all the way up now. There we go. Wait for the menu to load again. So here is the little gallery that we bought the Final Fantasy X intro video from, except it's not even really the intro video, it's just a still image. But if we wait for it to load, you can see that there's a lot of these things to buy, and they're all like 10 bucks each. And there's also a special one up here for Final Fantasy 15. I'm not entirely sure what this one is doing here, considering Final Fantasy 15 is out, and has been out for several months by the time this game's out. But anyway, you get a little BIOS of what the game is like, and then if you press the circle button, some of the characters come in to talk wise over the top of it. Including, of all people, Cloud. I admit I'm not that big a fan of Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. I don't mind them. I absolutely don't mind them. I played a lot of Dragon Quest, I think it was 5 on the DS, but if if you're not that huge of a fan of Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, you're mainly in this for the board game. I'm just warning you now. So, let's go take a quick look at the settings before I explain the really complicated circumstances that'll have me downloading my bloody save file from the internet. But, so here we have the options. You've got a few here, obviously, and they're a little hard to understand if you just translate them out right. I actually did a little bit of fiddling, so I can tell you what they are. First one is obvious, it's game speed. You've got slow, medium, fast, and practically instant. This is your voices, so you can hear like individual voice clips when you're like rolling dice and stuff like that. The one below it is voice monologues. Now I'm gonna keep these turned on. I'm actually gonna put the speed down to 3. But I'm going to keep these turned on because you need to see what these are like before I actually go and disable them, because they get a little bit annoying. But basically, characters will monologue at you between turns, and it's kind of strange. I'm not entirely sure why it's a thing. And then this one here is AI speed up. Now, when the AI takes its turns, it does everything the long way, same way you do if you keep this setting on its default, which is this. And it will do things like it'll go to the casino, it'll play around in the stock menu, it'll do stuff like that, right? If you turn this off, it will actually go through them a lot faster, and so the only things that'll interrupt your gameplay are things that you will need to deal with directly. Otherwise, it's just sitting back and letting the AI take its turn, which is a nice little thing. It just makes the games those slight bit faster, but again, I will keep it off. I'll keep it on the default, which is on, so you can see everything the AI is doing, just for the purpose of demonstration for a few turns. So this is the favorite character set. I'm not entirely sure what the drill is with this, but you can select what your favorite characters will be, so you can start with selecting them. I can't remember exactly what this does. God, I knew I translated this. I'll be damned if I can... Oh yeah, I remember. This is the cross save. That's download save and upload save. It's one of the two. Yeah. Right, I'm dumb. So that's the settings menu. Now, I'm gonna go talk about the online matchmaking and the single player challenge stuff just before we actually get into the real game. I did leave a timestamp, or at least I think I left a timestamp. I hope I did. So here's how the online matchmaking works. You can play ad hoc with other people, which is great if you have 4 people who have Vitas and copies of Itadaki Street. Yeah, I know not that many of you have it. But, so you can go online, and there are a few things you can set up. Just gotta wait for the game to open up. Alright, so, here's how this works. You can select what maps you want to play, and you can select whether or not you want to play with a specific character locked. So, I don't think it has anything to do with anything, right? Like, I don't think these guys have stats or anything, so it would just be personal preference more than anything else. So you can pick who you want to play and you'll be okay, or you can pick someone who you're absolutely destined to play and the game won't match you with them. And you also have the ability to turn the comm players on and off. So, if you end up with only like 3 people, the 4th slot will get filled up by a computer player. Very useful. I did try this matchmaking system, as I said, and I got put into a game immediately, and I played a game for about an hour, and there were no drops, no lag, no nothing like that. The game went really smoothly, and I was playing against 3 Japanese people, so it went absolutely fine. So online functionality in this is actually pretty good. You've got your free mode, but it's actually pretty basic. You can just go and select your map, select your rules. There is an easy mode that makes the game a lot less difficult, but I'll get onto that if I remember to while I'm actually recording the actual gameplay part of the video. But yeah, the free mode is there if you want to play it as like pass and play as well. That's how you get to that. But the main portion of the game that I've been playing and that I'm going to concern myself with, because online play isn't always going to be an option for me with Itadaki Street, is the one-player challenge mode. Now, it's... what the... I guess it doesn't count. That's actually convenient. I don't have to go downloading my save game this time. But, right. So let me show you how this works. You've got your selection of characters, obviously, and we'll just pick Blue. And pick Sephiroth, because he's the guy I've been using since I unlocked him. And you have these challenges. Now, challenges are multiple stages, one after the other. And the problem with them being one after the other is that you have to succeed at every single one in a row in order to actually complete them. And once you complete them, you get to unlock more challenge modes, and it also unlocks things like new characters and new stages for the free mode, and I assume the rules and the other stuff as well. And you earn coins by winning games, and that's how you pay for them. But, as I said, you have to play through them and win them one by one. And the only way you can quit out in the middle of this process is by stopping in the middle of the game. If you try and stop after you've lost a match, it won't let you. You have to go back and restart the game. This whole process is kind of super annoying. You'd hope that they let you continue from like stage 2 or stage 3 if you've gotten that far, but they won't let you do that. So, yeah, this whole system is kind of annoying to me, and considering how slow games of Itadaki Street can go, it really is kind of annoying that they make you do that. At the same time, you can just, like, as I said, you can suspend in the middle of a game and just walk away and go play a game in the free mode or the online mode, and it'll remember that game until you actively start a new one in the same mode. But still, it's kind of frustrating. I just had to bring that out there because I'll probably end up forgetting it during the actual recording. But if I back out, I actually wasn't expecting it to save my game after I decided to go and make a new one, but it did. And this is going to be a game on a level that has actually been ripped from the Wii version. I know that they've actually copied a fair few things from the Wii version here, but I do recognize this stage quite thoroughly. So, we're going to go and we're actually going to play a single-player game, and, well, let's just see how it goes. There's one other thing I should mention as well. Depending on the characters you're playing against, you will end up playing at different AI levels. Different characters have different AI levels assigned to them. And the 3 ranks I've seen so far are A, B, and C, and we're going to be fighting against 2 Bs and an A here. So if I just hit circle, we'll hop straight into the fight. Usually you'll pull some slot machines that'll determine your turn order, but other than that, you just hop straight into the game. There's no pussyfooting around. And we've got a long load time again, so yeah. There's your victory conditions on the screen there. That's the amount of money you need to win. Below it is the amount of bankruptcies there can be before the game ends. And below that is what you need to do in order to finish the stage. And considering this is the final stage of the 3-stage challenge that I showed you a minute or so ago, we have to win this one. I have to come first, otherwise I lose the stage. And trust me, this is Itadaki Street. That is a lot harder than it sounds. Which makes it just all the more frustrating that they make the challenges work like that. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is. I would have preferred just ones that had you play single games, but maybe some have special conditions. But, oh well. So it gives you a little bit of briefing on what the stages that you're playing on. This is from Dragon Quest V. There are stages based on other Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy games as well. But we are actually starting almost from the beginning of the game. I'm currently going second. I believe... I actually don't see her. Where is she? Oh, there she is. She's right there. She's gone and bought herself a shop. So, here we are in Itadaki Street. The menu is actually pretty simple once you get used to it. Second menu is to sell your stocks. And stocks are pretty interesting. We'll get to them when they come up. Third menu is for trading stuff. So, the only option I have available to me is buying a shop. And I could offer to buy her shop outright. But there is also the fourth option, which is trading. The second option is selling outright. And the first option is putting a shop up for auction. And they are actually different things. The fourth option is to scroll around the map. Pretty simple stuff. Fifth option, check your goals. Check the individual stats of every player. The third option is to check how the game is going so far. So you've got your individual stat screens, you've got your little chart here, they'll tell you how everyone's finances are doing in relation to each other. Your fourth option lets you go back to the options, and they should be turned on, I don't know why they aren't, I must have forgot to save them. Your fifth option is to save and quit, and your sixth option is to let the AI take control of you. So if it'll actually play for you. However, if you do win, it doesn't matter if you win or lose the game, if you put the AI in control of you at any time, you will take half the coins home at the end of the day. So let's do this. I've rolled the dice and I've got 4, so I can go 4 in any direction that I like at the moment, but once you're on a specific route, you have to stick to that route. So, the idea of this game is to get to a certain amount of money, and to get to that certain amount of money, you have to get to a certain amount of buildings owned, you have to own some stocks, you have to own basically everything. It is literally capitalism. It is monopoly with stocks and renovating your businesses. That is more or less it. I mean, there's no other real way to explain it. It is a lot like Monopoly. Also, the game's going really fast. It shouldn't be going really fast. I put it on speed 3. But yeah, you can see the little... You can see why I turn these little monologues off, because they take bloody ages. So, they kind of annoy me more than anything else. But I guess I just gotta let him go. You've heard 3 of them, and you've heard Cloud and Big Muscly Man, who I recognize from Dragon Quest Heroes 2 talk. So I'm gonna go and turn them off in the settings here. But yeah, they make the game take absolute ages. And I'm being taunted by him because he's a dick. That guy's AI is an absolute dick, by the way. Do not underestimate that guy's AI. Right. 3. Speed 3. Voice messages off. Alright. Let's do this properly now. So, the first major mechanic that I want you to get used to in this game is collecting the 4 symbols. Now, collecting the 4 symbols is easy. You just walk over the top of them. And when you walk over the top of the 4 symbols, you will collect them. And once you have all 4, the spade, the heart, the diamond, and the club, once you have all 4, you can go back to the bank. And once you go back to the bank, you level up and you get a pay packet. This pay packet is determined by your level, what buildings you own, and how many stocks you own. I believe there's also a couple of other things that come into it, but my mind is failing me here. This guy activated the fuck you mechanic of this map, which is he stepped on the button and split the bloody board in 4. But there you go. And this lady's taking advantage of her ability to get back to where she was. Now, I'm gonna roll my die again, and I've hopped right onto a warp platform. This is actually really annoying because it means that I can't actually buy any fucking businesses because I just keep getting thrown onto random shit, and it's starting to annoy me. But you buy businesses the same way you do in Monopoly. You land on them, and you pay the top amount. So, for example, he just built a building for 760 bloody gold coins. And the more expensive the building, the more money you will get when you try and rent it out. And by renting it out, I mean someone else will land on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will definitely buy that, because why the hell not? Probably a good idea to buy buildings around symbols, because people are going to need to go through them. There are multiple individual symbols on this board, so it's not like they are going to be completely... It's not like they have absolutely no options if I completely block them, but still, making it so that the entire thing is surrounded is a good strategy in this game, just because, well, it'll earn you more money in the long run. There are, of course, other mechanics, but since I'm not going to be able to get back to... I'm not going to be able to get back to the bank anytime soon, despite the fact that I've already got all 4 symbols. Relatively quickly, actually. It's going to be a little while before I can get into stocks. So, might as well start talking about everything else, like the game's presentation. And the game looks great. Like, for... I mean, obviously it's not that much effort, right? This guy's buying stock. Obviously, there isn't that much effort put into it. I mean, it's not as impressive as something like Killzone Mercenary with, like, a huge environment that you can actually run around in. But it's got some really nice detail. It's got some... Huh? Alright, it's just him disappearing. I don't actually have, sound on at the moment, obviously. Because I accidentally left it on. So I can't hear what's going on. But yeah, oh, come on, I just landed on the same spot. Screw it, I'll just enhance this building while I'm here. But yeah, the visual presentation of the game is really good. Like, it really does look nice. The backgrounds are really good to look at. The character models are well done and look nice. The animations are all pretty damn good, and it runs really smoothly for the most part. Can't say I've noticed a problem with it. Looks good, runs good. Don't really have that much of an issue with it. The music, I gotta say, that was a bit meh. I'll get into why that guy's running around shortly, because that's the cards that are doing that. But yeah, the music's a bit meh, but I've recognized some of the tunes in this game as Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest tunes, so I imagine this is some sort of remixed tune from Dragon Quest. So, I imagine it's just something to do with that, right? Alright, everything's back together. Wait for someone to hop on another button again and just push it all right back apart. Nope, he landed on the spade. So what you just saw there is the card. Now, the cards in this game are interesting. You can get them either by landing on the chance, or you can get them by landing on the symbols. And they are completely I had to open my fucking mouth 30 seconds ago, didn't I? I needed to get back to the fucking bank. Jesus. That's fucking rude, dude. But yeah, the cards are completely random. You saw that there's a grid of 64 there. There's 100 overall in the game. And when you get a line of them, like up from 4 up to all the way across the screen or down the screen, you'll get bonus money for it. And these cards are what can turn the game around. They can do an absolute ton of stuff. It really is the chance and community chest of Monopoly combined into some ridiculous shit. You can do stuff along the lines of, warping to any space that you want. Buying out any shop that you want that hasn't been bought yet. You can visit the casino. You can get an extra dice to roll. You can increase or decrease at random any particular area. I'll get onto this mechanic as well shortly. You can do pretty much anything you can imagine in this. Right, I'm so getting on this because this means I can actually get to the bank in a reasonable time frame. So yeah, the cards are just an absolute massive random part of the game. But I gotta admit, they're quite fun. You never know what you're gonna get when you pull up the next card. Unfortunately, they all are in Japanese, so it is kind of hard to read them. It is definitely kind of hard to read them, so you will need to have a translator nearby, or... No, I'm not stopping on the blue portal. I'm gonna have to come over here and take the fee to land here, but on my next roll, I'll get to the bank and I'll level up and I'll get a nice pay packet, which will serve me nicely. But yeah, there are 100 different cards in the game as well, and 13 is unlucky number 13, and there's a bunch of other ones, like I think 4 is a bad one, just because of the cultural relevance of 4 being a bad number in Japan, but other than that, it's pretty much random what happens. If I was half smart, what I would have done is I would have gone and gotten a, what's it called? I would have gone and just translated all of them one by one to help out. I actually did start doing that, but I realized I'm not going to be able to translate 100 cards while I'm still trying to play. So there you go. Sorry about that. So yeah, I level up, I get my pay packet, and I finally get to buy stocks, and I can actually explain what stocks are now. So, what stocks do, well, they work pretty much exactly the same way regular stocks work. Well, not really. I mean, it's not anywhere near as complicated. But you get the general idea if you understand what the stock market is, just even in just the most general of senses. So if you own them, they count towards your personal wealth. So you can see down there that I've got both a gold counter, a personal gold counter, which is gold on hand, and a personal value counter. And that's the personal value counter you have to get up to a certain amount to win the game. And stocks are what make this game interesting. So when you buy stocks in an area, you increase their overall value, and you also do a bunch of other... You increase the overall value of the area, and you also do a bunch of other things. Like you just saw there, yeah, that's a toll gate. I don't want to go through that, but I do have to come down here anyway, and the chance card is probably going to be worth the 30 I spent going through that toll gate, so let's do that. 15. Let me guess, I roll a dice and I get 7 times 50 gold, so 350 gold for free. That was definitely worth the effort of coming down here. But yeah, as I was saying, stocks can also change a few other things. they can give you a little bit of an extra boost over any pay that happens in that area. Like, as you saw, I had stock in an area, so when someone had to pay for it, I got an extra gold just off the top. Free money. Absolutely free money, which is a nice thing to have. They also go up and down with property values, and you can influence property values by stopping on your property and then spending money to upgrade your property. So you can spend, so say you got like 3 buildings in an area, and you know that you're going to go and upgrade those over your next few turns as you try and land on them or land on buildings that you personally own, right? So you end up in a little position where you've got your 3 buildings out of 4 or 5 or whatever. So you get back to the bank, and the only way you can get stocks is either by the bank or by chance cards. And you can buy stock. You can buy a ton of stock for use in that particular suburb, and then when you land on your thing and upgrade your building, fuck's sake, when you buy that and land on your own building to upgrade your buildings, you can upgrade your buildings and you will get a huge boost in monetary value out of your stocks. You can also do the same thing with other players. So if you see someone building up, getting ready for a bloody stock blowout, you can still buy in while the stock is cheap. Or you can wait for, and if you buy in and wait for them to get like rich, you can then, all my buildings are unmaxed, so I can't even renovate. That sucks. But then, if they get rich and they get close to the value of the game that you need to win, you can sell your stock. You can sell everything. You can do a fire sale, and the value of their stock in that area will plummet along with the prices of the stock, right? So it's just this huge amount of strategy that goes into it, that you can fiddle with the stock market in order to get yourself a little bit of extra value. That's what makes things interesting. You can also sell stocks and sell shops in order to do things like pay bills. So if you land on someone and you don't have enough money on hand, you can just sell stock immediately. So it's usually a good idea to play the stock market, even if you're not particularly sure of what's good on the stock market. Because even if you just buy something at random, you'll be at more of an advantage than not actually buying any stock. Because it really doesn't hurt you in any sense of the word to attempt that, right? Should I buy this out? I should have enough money to buy it out. You do gain the ability to, you do gain the ability to buy buildings out immediately by spending 5 times their worth and giving up some of that money to the person who originally owned the building as well. So you can, if someone's going to a monopoly on a place, but they've got like 1 building they haven't upgraded yet, and you get just lucky enough to land on that building, you can buy it out from under them, kill their stock value, and make it so that they have to buy the building back from you. And all of this shit just makes it absolutely crazy. And we all just got put on the home island, which is actually kind of where I wanted to be right now, because the last 2 things I need to get for another level up are right here. That's actually brilliant. There are a couple of other mechanics that I haven't gone over yet. There are some mechanics that don't show up on some boards. So, I'm just trying to... Oh, God. Do I have to go this way? No, I can go the other way, but that means I have to pass through a fucking toll gate. Oh, no, I get to land on this, though. That's worth it, because I get the bonus for getting 4 of these cards in a row. What card is this? I get to roll another die. And land on someone else's property and pay them, because fuck. Sounds about right. I do not want to go landing on those, I don't want to go landing on those portals just yet. Maybe when the islands come back together. But yeah, just, speaking of the islands coming back together. But yeah, this game is just absolutely crazy at times. You can get some ridiculous shit going on. People trying to make their monopolies, trying to outflank the other guy, making smarter decisions, selling and buying stock, trying to influence the market. It's all really interesting concept for a game. And as someone who likes the idea of Monopoly, but doesn't play it that much because Monopoly is actually a really bad game when you think about it, it's really interesting. I'll put it that way. Oh, there are a lot of other words I can use for this game as well. Because goodness knows that me and rolling dice is like trying to choke a chicken to get it to speak English. It's unbelievable just how badly I do at rolling dice in games like this. Oh, he just got the warp. Fucking bastard. Mr. Dragon Quest guy there is the A-rank AI, and he absolutely whooped me the last time I tried to play this map, so not the best situation to be in, I gotta say. But yeah, the amount of luck there is in this game can be really overwhelming. I will say that right off the bat. The amount of, like, to be fair, that luck also swings both ways, and it often swings both ways really, not consistently, but it will swing multiple times throughout a match. And unless you get really far behind, which is entirely possible, by the way, you will probably do okay throughout the game for the most part, right? You can end up, like, doing some swing moves, like doing a buyout of a really expensive building to get you that little leg up you need to at least come second or something like that, right? And when you're playing on the earlier stages, like the first or second stage where you only need to come third or second, right? When you're only playing on those stages, it's more fun like that because even big moves like that can feel satisfying because it means that you've gotten through to the next stage or you've finished the entire course entirely, right? It can be infinitely more satisfying than, say, playing an online game like I did and getting the absolute bejesus whooped out of you from moment one. Is that a warp? I'm gonna have to translate this. Just give me a second. I've got my tablet right next to me and I can use it to translate the text here. Just hold it up to the screen. If only I face cammed, this would make a lot more sense. Please choose a destination. This must have been a warping card. So, yeah, I thought this would be a warping card because of the little cursor there. That kind of indicates that you're going to move. But I just thought that I would think about that anyway. God, where do I want to go? I could start making my Monopoly down here by just teleporting onto these and buying them outright. You know what? Let's actually do that. That's a good idea. Oh, I could have gone back to the bank. Fuck. Oh, that was a dumb decision on my part. And it's 1,200. Yeah, I fucked that up royally. I really did. That was a horrible move on my part. I should have just walked back to the bank. And what's the bet? He's going to land on a button. No. No, apparently I got away with it this time. Man, he's really trying to crash stock there, though. I should be a little bit worried about that. That's a bit odd. Here comes the building. The building renovations. Makes them more powerful, drives up the value, and... Jesus, Red's already at 5k. We need to get to 20k in order to... I'll land here. Because the extra card may well be useful to me. I really should have just gone straight back to the bank. What the fuck was I thinking? Right, so it looks like we're going to be picking 3 districts, and these 3 districts will be getting 10% up. Didn't even build anything there yet. And that helped me. That did not help me at all, that last one there. But, oh, well, it did. It gave me a little bit of extra monetary value on my stocks and all that. But yeah, the whole dynamic of swinging the game in your favor, or a huge event like someone landing on an 800 gold building really early and giving them a massive broken leg, or just managing to get a Monopoly just by the sheer luck of rolling 3 ones in a row so you can buy every single building in a straight. Stuff like that. It's more satisfying when you play it in isolated bursts that don't affect anything else. like, in this little challenge mode here, as I said before, you need to play through these stages one by one, and you need to hit the requirement in order to continue on. Sure, you can retry as many times as you want, but when you have to win, it's a really hard ask. It makes the game infinitely more entertaining when you're playing it with other people, which is why the online multiplayer is such a godsend. The Wii version didn't have online multiplayer. It had local, of course it had local, it just didn't have online multiplayer, which is what makes it all the more interesting that this version does. I don't remember if the PSP version of this game that came out had online multiplayer. Would have been good if it did. But yeah. Right. So yeah, I made it back to the bank. Leveling up is actually a really good thing you need to do in this game, and it keeps the pace up, because everybody needs to visit most of their places, right? Everybody needs to go to all 4 symbols. Everybody needs to go back to the bank afterwards as well, because it's literally free money, and when you have free money, it means you're closer to winning. It's not like Monopoly, where you have to spend ages trying to bankrupt each other. Well, you can bankrupt people in this game, but it's not the win condition. Alright, so he has a plus for the toll gate, then he has to land on my 14 gold building. Of course he does. But yeah, it's not like, Brain, damn it, work today. It isn't like Monopoly like that. It's way more interesting because you're actively trying to earn money. Sometimes it feels like the game is trying to screw you, though. That purple, elf-eared, white-haired son of a fuck can go shove the biggest thing you can find in his bedroom up his ass, because he is a massive twat. When I was playing this with him, oh, I can sell my stocks at 35% more than they're worth. I remember this card. Oh, they'll only go down to 19, and frankly, I'm not sure I want these anymore anyway. That's going to be a hotly contested area. And, well, I got 35% profit off that, so I'm actually quite happy with that. It's actually also rocketed me up to 2nd place, which is really nice, actually. But yeah, his AI was really aggressive. I had 2 monopolies on this board. The orange district and the red district. You can see, like, the little mini-map down the bottom left there, what district is what color. I had 2 flippin' monopolies in those 2 areas, and every time I'd make one, he'd come along and buy it out, and then one of the other AI players, while I was trying to maintain these 2 fucking monopolies because I needed them for the monetary value, just pulled ahead. And by one of these AIs, I mean the one that was rank A. The rank B one seems to be a little bit pants on head retarded. Not too bad, but still, just that little bit pants on head retarded. Little unfortunate, poor girl. But, yeah. Admittedly, if it was more of a free reign sort of thing where I didn't have to worry about winning several matches in a row or, you know, maintaining a certain position, I'd be having a little bit more fun with this mode. However, just because I have to play this as often, play this under those rules, it means that I'm just kind of stuck. I'm just kind of stuck with doing that. Although, I imagine that once I... Well, if I go that way, I'll end up the green portal, which is over there. And I need... Actually, yeah, green portal might actually be a good idea. Let's not go down there just right now. Okay. But yeah, that's why I think this game, even in the online multiplayer mode, 43 minutes, 45 seconds. I just gotta try and remember that time so I can remember to put this timestamp in. But, in the multiplayer mode, along with just all the regular stuff, the game runs at 1x speed, by the way, so it runs a bit slower than this, but since all the players are human, it makes a little bit more sense, so it's not as frustrating to see the game moving as slowly as it is. It's just a little bit slow, but I'm willing to let it go for, you know, just for the fact that it's humans, and there's a 10-minute time limit. I'm half tempted Yeah, you know what? You're not going to get any fucking money for this. Yeah, you got 150 gold for that. So yeah, I'm just going to take this from you. Fuck you. Someone's going to come along and take that from me and say fuck you right back, but... Oh well. No issue, really. Damn it, I was hoping to get that. So, I should probably explain what that mechanic is. It doesn't come up on every board, which is kind of annoying because this is the first time I've actually seen it in the single-player challenges. But that mechanic where you've got those sale posts up there that don't have an active price, you actually build different buildings on top of them, and they all do different things. Like, the ones you've seen already are toll gates, where if you walk through them, you owe someone money. Or you can get ones that'll let you add free value to your, they'll let you add free value to whatever it is, to any building that you want, just by landing on it. And stuff like that, right? I don't know what the exact list is, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be too different from the same list on the Wii, because the same mechanic is on the Wii on this map as well. So, you get the general idea. So it adds just yet another layer of strategy. Like, there are some things that happen as well that they are a lot like the railroads in Monopoly, right? So you can end up trying to build like 3 toll booths, and all your toll booths will be more effective because you've got 3 toll booths. Or, well, actually it's 2, you can only build 2 at one time. Or you can try and build really expensive buildings. She got a card to let her buy a fucking building out of nowhere, god damn it. You can just do crazy shit like that, you know? And that just means there's even more strategy to it. It's not like Monopoly, where you're just constantly going the same way around the board. There's no real strategy involved, and it's a lot more luck-based in comparison to pretty much everything else. No, this game has a lot more strategy involved in it, especially since the stock market is a thing. Damn it, the stock prices went up and I didn't own any stock in it. That would have been nice. It would also be nice if the world was Cadbury. Hey. I just also got to say, because I have a little bit of a sneaking feeling, we'll put it that way, just a little feeling that something is not entirely right with the dice. Now, it's gonna sound like I'm saying that I'm a whiny little bitch, you're just really unlucky, and that you should just get better at the game, son. Hang on, what's down there? 100, what's back here? 62. I'm trying to get back to base, so this would be the smartest way to go either way. Now, you're going to think that I'm just whining about being a little unlucky bitch, but I really don't think I am, because I've had the same thing happen to me. The dice seem slight... Fucking hell. It seems like as soon as they bloody know that I need to get back to base, they're just more than happy to just split the islands again. This happens constantly. Just random shit like this, even in my favor. It seems like the dice are biased in such a way as to either keep game-killing things from happening, or to keep the game interesting, finger quotes. It seems to happen a lot, even to me. Like, it's just annoying how the AI will seem to avoid 2 spaces with like 1,000 cost buildings on them every single time. Meanwhile, I just tend to run into the smaller cost buildings every single roll to keep the game interesting. Just stuff like that. It seems to happen a lot more than it should. Even to me. I admit that I've had a few lucky breaks that seem to have come out of nowhere. I don't know if it's just my ridiculous luck being displayed through the game somehow, but I do think that it's there, possibly. I'm not entirely sure. I'd love to know if anyone else actually picked this one up and is capable of giving any sort of opinion on that. But yeah, it's just a little insane sometimes, the crazy crap that can happen. Like, I've had plenty of times where I've been screwed out of something that I've wanted to do just because someone got the exact roll they needed to put a fucking stick in my plans. And look, same fucking area again. Got another boost, and I still don't have any stock there despite having 2 fucking buildings, because I can't get back to the fucking bank! Drives me mad. Drives me absolutely mad. And yet I'm enjoying it anyway. Why is that? I'm legitimately not sure. It is a well-designed game. If it's one of those games that feels like I'm just being taken along for the ride more than anything else, and yet I'm still here playing it. Oh look, he's gonna try and make a trade with someone. Unless, like, a monopoly is being made on both sides, I've never seen a trade like this go through. He's asking that I pay him 200 gold, along with the actual apartment there. Now, I actually kind of like this little, no system here. Because this is actually the same way it works online. You're given this prompt when you're playing online with people. And let me tell you the 3 options. Yes, no, and fuck no. It doesn't actually say that, but that's basically what it means. I am not going to accept that deal, because Jesus Christ, I'm not going to let that guy get that close to a monopoly. What's about the island's going to get split again? Because, seriously, oh yeah, the casino! About time I got to talk about this. These are luck-based minigames. This is one of them. This is Chocobo Run. You just got to pick the right direction a few times. You don't very often see him get past the first fork, so be happy you get to see what's at the very end of this, because I very rarely get to see it. So this guy got a suit yourself card, which is what they call it in the English version, which means he gets one of the 4 symbols for free. So he can, if he has just 3, he can go right back. Oh good, we get to see another game as well, which is bloody Dragon Quest Battle for some reason. There are a couple of other things as well, like there's a slot machine, and there is a really interesting one, actually, where one player rolls 6 dice, and the other 3 players roll 2 dice each, and whoever has the highest numbers on their dice wins gold, which is actually kind of neat. I'd like to see more casino games like that, but yeah. The game's got a few neat little casino games like that, and it's free money. There's no putting your own money up, it's literally just free money, or if you don't win anything, just money, right? Not as big a deal as you might think. I'm taking that. Honestly, I don't really stand a chance of winning at this point anyway. I mean, you see, I like the little flagpole thing they got just above the scoreboard there that shows you... I like that, how it shows you how far you all are from the goal. We are, like, nowhere near it, but once the money really starts rolling in, the games start to accelerate. The beginning of the games can be a bit slow, but they will get a lot faster. Like, as you can see there, that guy has just made, like, 1,400 gold off one stock movement. Oh, are you serious? I need to get back to the bank! I need to get back to the fucking bank! Who am I? Proton John? Jesus! And of course I land right on the fucking thing that guy just bought. Because fuck me sideways with that scythe he's holding. And what's the bet? He's gonna want me to trade something with him. Oh no, he's actually doing a trade with the AI. Wow, he offered gold, and he still didn't get the trade he wanted. That's insane. But yeah, the AI doesn't exactly like accepting its own trades. It's a bit odd. Oh, thank Christ. Actually, no, I have to go all the way around still. Shit. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Ooh, that's gotta suck. Goodbye half her stocks. Although she sold all her stock out at once to have some money on hand, which is probably a smart idea considering nothing was going on there anyway. God, how far did I go this time? Right into the waiting arms of another one of his fucking shops. Swear to Christ, if there's a god, he hates me. He really hates me. Jesus fuck. And yes, this is one of those weird dice where you can roll higher than 6. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, it's probably someone trying to screw you. Wait, what? Well, everybody just swapped position. Man, those cards. Didn't really help me out that much, though. I would have liked to be where bloody Blue Man Group is over there. Despite the fact that my name is actually Blue X. Well, I was going to say don't ask me why my name is Blue Axe, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Thankfully, I can just hop in here and I'll be at the bank on my next turn. Not going to help me out very much, considering I'm coming last by a really long shot, but there you go. The reason why I picked Blue Axe is because you can only have 5 characters in your name in this game, which is a little odd. I'm not entirely sure what the deal is with that. I just realized I forgot to talk about what I actually wanted to talk about at 43 minutes, 45 seconds, but I'll get to that. Man, I'm having a really bad day. Everything is just throwing me off. Are you serious? Great, I'm gonna have to give up half my pay packet just so I can get my fucking pay packet. That's... Jesus Christ, fuck this game sometimes. I had the opportunity to buy stock, but I decided not to, because... No bloody point, no real point at this point. I am going to lose. It's an absolute guarantee that I'm going to lose. I probably shouldn't have bought out 2 fucking properties, but... Honestly, I'm still not doing particularly great anyway. It's not like it's going to help me out very much to not buy them out. But yeah, just reiterating everything I said about the game feeling unfair when you're playing against the AI. It makes the game a lot more fair, or at least feel a lot more fair when you're playing against the other people. And it was actually kind of nice playing with the Japanese people because you have a selection for 8 emotes. And now I get to remember 55:55, which is the time that my recording is at right now. But yeah, you get 8 emotes, which is actually pretty cool, I found. And those 8 emotes are... Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop here, aren't I? I can buy it. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that toll gate. Fuck wandering around with this... Yeah, I'm going to lose. There's absolutely no way that I'm going to win this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put the game speed up to 4 because this video's already been going for an hour, and I'm going to just let the AI take over because it's probably a better idea that I do that so I can say everything else about this. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I was playing with the Japanese people over multiplayer, and that was more interesting just because the game couldn't under any circumstance fudge the dice rolls in anyone's favor. And it was even more interesting, too. Despite the fact that there was this one guy who was just constantly, like, wiping the floor with us. This is the, dice battle game I was talking about earlier, by the way, in the casino. Unfortunately, that guy gets all the money, because of course he does. But yeah, as I was saying, you have 8 emotes. I'm just saying this because I think it's a funny anecdote, and I'm waiting for my turn to come around. But you get 8 emotes, and one of them is of Sephiroth taking his shirt off. I'm not entirely sure why that's an emote in this game, and I've put a screenshot on screen, 5730, to tell you, or to show you it. But yeah, seriously, it's kind of silly. No, that's, okay, options menu, option 4, speed to max, turn off AI distractions, and then tell the game to take over for me. It'll give me a little prompt to say, hey, do you want to take back over every time my turn comes up. So if I want to actually keep playing after a certain point, like when the AI has fixed my shit, then maybe I can take back over and claim victory for myself, despite the fact that the AI was probably the one responsible for it. But yeah, just playing this game with more people than AI is probably the best way to go about it, even if one of those players ends up being an extremely lucky, fucking obnoxious ass about it. Every fucking time that he would, get a good thing going, like he got a monopoly almost immediately and it was frustrating as hell. He got a, He got a ton of other buildings scattered across the place as well that were still relatively well upgraded. He got all sorts of little things going like that, and every bloody time it gave me this little smug pain in the ass face, and it's exactly the same character that's on screen right now. So not only did I manage to run into an obnoxious AI player that did nothing but ruin my monopolies all day every day, I also ended up running into the same character being played by a human who was also bloody obnoxious. So, I'm really not having a good day, am I? It really is just a race for the AI at this point, because I've made all the wrong decisions. Like, I would have rage quit out of this game by now, but there's no way to tell how a game's going to go until you've played it up to about this point, and even then. But I really don't think I stand a chance of winning this one, and the AI is probably going to prove that to me. As you can see, I turned the AI distractions off, so it skipped going to the casino when it was just him. So, you know, that's a good thing. We also got Kupo, and I think if you pass Kupo, he lets you choose any suit that you want, which is a very useful thing to have. Yeah, I admit I'm an absolute fuck up, but hey, I got a toll gate on the island with the bank on it. That's a pretty good thing to have. So I might as well start talking about the import friendliness and stuff while the game continues on. We still have a little bit to go, so I've got plenty of time to talk about things like that. I have shown you the absolute majority of stuff you need to know to play the game. There are some things that you might want to keep a translator around for, like the, brain. There are some things you might want to keep the translator around for, like the... like the cards. The cards are definitely something you want to know what they're doing, because if you end up doing something thinking, oh, this might actually be good for me, and it turns out to be bad for you, that would be a very bad thing indeed, Kupo. And there are a couple other things as well, like the menu for the empty sale plots that you build your own buildings on. You will probably want the translator nearby just to make sure you don't pick the wrong thing there, because it means that you might end up in a better situation if you have the translator there for you, or maybe just a translated list of stuff. I will actually contribute my own translated list of, like, menu options and stuff like that down in the comments, but I haven't taken the time to translate the cards or the free sale spaces. Maybe I should. I'm pretty good at guessing context and, you know, getting a decent look at the screen. Maybe I should try that. But other than that, you're pretty much good to go. I mean, other than just, like, having, like, a text file on hand, just to be safe. You can't keep a photo, like, and just, like, go over to it and select it on the Vita itself, because you will end up in a... You will end up... you can't open anything else on the Vita while this game is open. It's one of those games. So you can't do that, which is kind of unfortunate. Although if you kept an almost empty, like, screen and then just kept all of it as a wallpaper, that might work. Other than that, though, yeah, you're gonna have to keep a separate reference if you want to keep all the cards nearby just to be safe, right? So apparently I'm doing a trade with her, and she actually took it? Why did she take... Oh, yeah, she's, like, 3 away from making Monopoly. I guess that makes sense. It's weird. Like, the first couple of games I played, the AI players never accepted or... Well, I mean, they did offer trades, but they never accepted them, ever, which was a little weird. I gotta admit, when I actually get around to playing this game in free play, which will probably be never, because it's 2 days out from Mario Odyssey, and then... shit's gonna fall apart, basically. So, yeah, I'm probably never gonna get around to playing this game again, but, you know, that's just life. See, the AI is actually doing a good job in my place. It's doubled my revenue in the past few turns, so... I don't know, maybe I should just find a way to make the game make the AI work in online mode and just pretend it's a real person. That'd be great. Wouldn't bloody work, but that'd be great. You think you know who's gonna win at this point? You probably don't. It is seriously that random of a game sometimes. What else is there to talk about? 400 megabyte day 1 patch. That was surprisingly annoying. Apparently all it did was fix some bugs. I'm guessing that's, yeah, it says on the back of the case here, I just had it on my desk, and it says it requires 420 megabyte of storage. So I assume they're actually making them print Oh yeah, a couple other spaces on the board that you might not be understanding. The bed makes it so that all your shops close. The star makes it so that you get a bunch of extra money on top of every sale that's been made. And there's just a couple of other things, but you'll understand them as you come across them. But yeah, 400 meg day one patch. Be ready for that one. Thankfully, I had my memory card wiped because I had to format it because I'm worried that it's starting to fail on me like pretty much every other memory card I've ever fucking had for some reason. I hope I'm not buying, like, old stock memory cards that fail faster just because they're older and they never sold. But who knows? Crap, there was one more thing and now I've gone and forgotten it. Damn it. I'm gonna have to try and remember it. Seriously, I've been talking for an hour straight. This gets hard. This gets really hard. I got out almost everything I wanted to say. That's the thing. That's the thing that frustrates me the most, damn it. You know what? If I remember what it is between, like, rendering this video and, like, uploading it to YouTube, I'll put it in the description of the video. Would I recommend Itadaki Street, Dragon Quest, and Final Fantasy 30th Anniversary? If you have friends to play it with, or you can play it online. Playing it against the AI feels a lot more unfair than it does playing against other human people. At least with other people, you can enjoy the ride and actually get a bit of strategy going. But the AI is just a bit too weird to feel like you're actually playing against other people sometimes. It's kind of frustrating having to deal with it, especially with, like, the single-player challenges being really annoying long things. Although you can play with, like, rank C people. I've noticed that the earlier challenges where you're only fighting against rank C AI actually makes the game a fair bit easier. But, I mean, other than that, this game would be great if you had a bunch of friends to play with. I don't know if this is cross-compatible with the PS4. Like, I don't know if you can play this online with PS4 players. But I know you can play, like... I know you can play, like, 4 people on the one system. Which is a pretty neat thing to be able to do. I should probably go over what, how you win this game, by the way. Once you hit the required value, all you need to do is get back to the bank. So basically, if 2 people get there at once, which actually happens a lot, it's just a race back to the bank, which can be disrupted in certain ways. Like, the match that I played on this map ended with me literally being... like, like, on the top right corner of the map, 1 space off that button. I was 2 spaces away from winning. Then the purple-eared motherfucker jumped on that button and split the arena. And that's how I lost. Because the bloody, Dragon Quest regular-looking dude in the green there, he was on the bottom left corner of the bank island. So he just managed to get all the way up and around before I could get to the portal. That was the most frustrating loss imaginable, but if I was playing with regular people instead of AI, that wouldn't have been anywhere near as frustrating, and if I wasn't playing a challenge that required me to come first in order to win the string of 3 things, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as frustrating, but it is. And I'm not entirely sure if you have to play through this mode in its entirety to unlock all the characters and special rules. It might just be play a certain amount of games. I can't be 100% sure. I should also point out that this game does have things like online trophies. So you do need to play this game online in order to get all the trophies. In fact, you need to win something like 30 times. Which is kind of insane. But yeah. Also, don't get thrown off by the fact that the trophy titles are in English for some reason. The actual descriptions are still in the Japanese, but for some reason, it's just in English for the names. I really do hope that you don't have to unlock everything by playing it through this single-player challenge mode. I imagine it is, but, you know, you can let me hope, can't you? And yeah, apparently the AI did really well for me. Look at it, it's almost caught up to the 3rd place player, despite the fact he was really far behind early on. But yeah, it's not really surprising that the green player won, because the green player is at like 25,000, because the green player is in fact the A rank AI, and the A rank AI is just a steamroller more than anything else. But yeah, if you can have friends and you can tolerate playing it online, then or if you can tolerate it playing online, I should say, it's good fun like that. Or even if you want to play it in the AI with like maybe B rank people, and you don't mind being screwed by the dice one too many times. If you're fine with all that, this is worth a purchase. But if you're easily frustrated by these sorts of games, or if you can't go online, or if you don't have friends to play it with, because you can do pass and play, which is something that's kind of gone out of games for a while now. But yeah, if you can do any of that, if you can't do any of that, it's probably not worth your time picking up. It would have been neat to see this game come west. Then some English players would have been playing it, but even me playing it online with Japanese people wasn't that big of an issue. As long as you learn the menus, you'll be fine. But yep, we have a winner. It was the red girl, of all things. She managed to get back to the bank first. I wasn't entirely expecting that. I thought the green guy was going to get around the island again, but yeah, even my expectations can be subverted a bit there. But yeah, I like it. I just wish the AI felt a little less unfair. It's the same thing as the bloody Bejeweled thing where they say they didn't... no, Puzzle Quest, I should say. Puzzle Quest, where it felt like they were stacking the deck against you. They say it wasn't true, but you know it was fucking true. You knew they were dropping the gems right where the enemy could get like 5 chains and you could barely get 1 chains. You knew that was true. It's the same sort of feeling in this game. If you can't stand that, avoid this like the plague. But you've just been sitting here watching me play this for an hour and 10 minutes, so if you're not interested, what the hell are you still doing here? So you get your little medals, you get coins, which I use for the shop, and that little red thing there is your amount was cut in half. And let's see how we did on the value chart there. Yeah, I obviously didn't make some very good choices around the end game, I must say. And then when the AI took over for me, I started doing fantastically. So obviously I suck at this game a bit more than I would like to admit. So yeah, not cleared. This is warning me that if I don't continue... no, that's the highlight reel. And then this is the do you want to stop playing now? Which, yes, I do. Game auto-saves, we fade to black, and we go back to the main menu. In due time. So yeah, that was an hour and 15-minute long look at Itadaki Street, Dragon Quest, and Final Fantasy 30th Anniversary. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.